Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. Welcome back to DMZ. So lately I've been spending a ton of time on Ashika Island because of the 2 Black Mouse missions that you have to do there. But it wasn't always easy, and you'll see here why. So this stronghold is a place that I visit often when I'm here, because there is some free loot up on the roof where you do not need a stronghold keycard. You can just go upstairs and grab the stuff and then leave. And the bots here are usually very manageable, but what happened next here was not at all what I expected. I actually got knocked down by a player, and I first thought that he might not kill me, but I was so wrong. On my next run, I managed to find a game console, so I head over to this dead drop quickly to deposit it before I get shot or something else happens to me.
Get those objectives into a dead drop to make faction mission progress.
And I'm successful. I hear footsteps behind me and I know it's an operator, so I try to trick him out. I actually managed to knock him, but unfortunately, he had a buddy, and I was in the middle of reloading, so I could not even defend myself. On my next run, I feel lucky because I found some jumper cables, and I was able to make it to the dead drop to deposit them.
Ultra, get those objectives into a dead drop to make faction mission progress.
And look at that! There happened to be jumper cables right next to the dead drop, which actually allowed me to finally complete the mission shock value. And shortly after, I was even able to exfil without any problems.
Dino Force holding at the extraction point. Actual to Ultra One, winds are picking up in the AO. Advise you get to extraction before radiation moves in.
In my next run, I started off with looting this stronghold as usually. Obviously, when it is a stronghold, it is not a stronghold every time. So I go down and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot the other side. I go back up and I hear a vehicle, clearly operators. So I'm gonna try to get to this box before they see me.
We're seeing increased activity in the area. Stay sharp.
I get a UAV and some other goodies. So I decide to just use the UAV right here to kind of get an idea what those operators are, because they seem to have stopped right below me. Right there. So I get that one operator, because I know if I don't, he's gonna get me. And then I try to get away, but then I see that there's another operator down there. So he had a buddy, so I'm thinking, should I stick around? Or should I kill this guy? So he shoots at me, so I'm thinking, I don't know. He may have revived the other guy, so there's 2 after me now. So I'm a little scared right now, because I usually don't win gunfights against 2 operators. But I'm being brave here. I stick around and I decide to kind of peek around this corner there. And I see him reviving his buddy, so I'm thinking, okay, this is the chance. And of course, I run out of bullets. This is always happening to me. The one guy actually dies. The other guy is back behind the corner. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't reloaded. But when I then actually get a glance at him, I see that he literally just died. If they would have asked for joining me, I would have definitely accepted them. But for some reason, they were pissed at me, so they just decided not to do that. And yeah, you know, after having been shot by so many operators, I just felt like getting some revenge, finally. A little later, I get close to other operators. I hear shots. I'm just looting this place, but hoping that they don't see me. So I'm trying to pinpoint where they are. And it's clearly coming right from down there. So I decide to kind of go into the science center. Kind of hide in there a little bit and loot as well. Now I'm hearing more shots from more operators and actually people on the chat. So I'm like, where are they? They are very, very close. Hopefully they don't come in here. I literally did not see this guy at all. I even checked that side. I did not see him. No idea where he came from. Oh well. And what I often do when I lose everything, I basically just come in with nothing but a throwing knife and an ammo box and a stim. I was lucky and found a pistol on the ship, but I want a better gun. So here's my first victim. He seems to be the only one here, which I'm lucky because usually there's more. And I got a better gun already. So I'm working on a new mission where I have to find a GPU among other things. The other things are not hard, but the GPU is super, super hard because it's very, very rare that you find one. So I do a little research and someone says you can actually find them in a weapons locker inside the Suki Castle. So I'm thinking, oh man, I don't want to go through the main doors in Suki Castle. I know there's a way to get in from the waterways. I just don't know exactly where, but I am determined to find the way so I could just sneak into the castle and get myself that GPU that supposedly is guaranteed to be there. And I've been down here at the waterways many, many times because we had to do other missions where we had to come to the death drop down here. So I'm already pretty familiar with it. I know there's 2 juggernauts, which I'm trying to avoid right now. And I'm so lucky I found this pistol earlier because I just ran out of bullets. And that's something that should never happen down here on the waterways because that's a guaranteed sentence. And it also takes forever to reload that RAF H. And just as I do that, the Juggernaut is right behind those pallets. But of course, I can damage him, but I cannot take him down that fast before he actually gets me. So I'm playing some cat and mouse with that guy here, hoping that I could just eventually get him before he gets me.
Ultra One, UAV is bingo, fuel, and RTB.
So I remember I have this mine, so I'm thinking, okay, that should do the trick. That should give him the rest, hopefully.
Ultra One, be advised, enemy attack helo is
But
heading your way.
it literally just knocks off his plates, that's all. He's still alive and kicking, as you can see. So I'm thinking, well, you know what, I can't do it. And then I fall into the water. And I'm like, oh well, it might just as well be. I'm just gonna go. I don't have to deal with this guy. I really just want to get to those weapon lockers and hopefully find a GPU and complete this mission once and for all. That's really all I'm interested in.
Operator in your area needs medical.
I wasn't able to find that operator, and when I try to pass this bridge here, I get shot at. And I almost got into a situation where I needed to plead for help. So I'm feeling like down here I should be okay to just kind of take them out one by one. So I find myself a little spot here to peek around the corner in order to take out that one guy over there that's giving me grief.
Hostile cluster mine active.
And I managed to take him out. And then of course, some player had to take me out even though he saw that I was struggling with the bots. And you already know the story. I lose everything, I come in with nothing. Well, not every time. I do actually have a lot of contraband weapons. But sometimes I just don't feel like having this pressure of worrying about losing my awesome contraband weapons and actually just come in with nothing, pick up stuff, and then when I die I feel like I didn't really have anything to lose, and that's a great feeling. So I do that quite a lot. After the disappointment of not finding a self-revive, I am finding a pistol, not necessarily the pistol I wanted to find. But to my surprise, I find a second pistol that's much better. But then in the nearby building, I hit the jackpot because I not only find a medkit, but also a self-revive and an SMG. So I'm feeling really, really good. I feel like that was a really nice recover from the loss. So all I need now is a 2 or 3 plate armor vest, and a medium backpack would be very nice too. But we'll see if we find that. A little later, I decide to come over to this place that always has a medkit and other good things.
Gear and upgrades.
But as soon as I get here, I hear chat and shots, so I know there's operators very, very close, and it's not just one. Because I hear at least 2 voices here, so I'm trying to get what I can here and hope that they don't come into this direction. So I'm thinking, well, this is the buildings I wanted to go in. I guess I'm not going there now. I'm just gonna go loot in here. Maybe they're gonna leave and then I can go up there and get whatever they did not take. So they're talking and they're talking, and then I hear footsteps getting closer and closer to the building where I'm in. So I'm thinking, hopefully he doesn't see me here, or I can take him out. My heart starts pounding like crazy because I don't have a 3 plate armor vest and he is coming closer and closer. And I barely managed to take him out. And he's telling his buddy where I am, so I decide to just take off because I don't want to take any risks here. It's not worth it for me, ever. And I also believe in just killing in self-defense. And I finally make it to the castle because I was planning on searching all the rooms here as well, because I can almost swear that I found a GPU here once in one of those lockers or chests. So I'm just looking around, but unfortunately I'm not lucky. I don't find any GPUs here at all. After I was done searching this building up and down, it was time to exfil. And in this run, I brought the water pump control key with me, and I happened to spawn pretty much right next to it because I heard that you also have a chance to maybe find it in there or any locked spaces for that reason. So I'm very, very hopeful that I will be lucky to find it in this building. I've never been in this building before, but I have 2 of those keys, so why not use them, right? So I'm like frantically looking for it. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Come on, show me. Where would I find it? I find another key and a document. There's a computer. It's got nothing interesting in it. What is this? Oh, there's nothing that I need. And I keep double and triple checking everything like someone who has OCD, but unfortunately that did not change the matter. I did not find a GPU here. Bummer again. So then I decided to exfil, even though I barely spent any time in this game, but I needed to get out in order to get my other key to check another place that could have a GPU. So in this new run, I didn't spawn where I wanted to spawn, which is the harbor, which is where that building is, where I can use the key. But I do have the key with me, so I try to just kind of avoid all the operators, because, you know, when you go to a place where other operators spawn, there's a very high chance that those operators are still in that location, which is like over there, but I don't see anyone over here. And when I'm closer to the location, I check one more time to make sure there's no operators, and then I head for the building. But I am super nervous because I know that if I die, I will lose this key, and I have no idea if I ever will find this key again or anytime soon. I happen to try to get into the wrong building here. It's actually up here, and I'm very happy to see that the key works. And I'm actually very surprised of how many more things I find here than I expected. But unfortunately, among all those goodies here, there is no GPU. And again, I double and triple check every little nook and cranny like an OCD freak. So I decided to just head to the exfil. But on my way to the exfil, I see this loot drop and I'm thinking, should I go there? Should I risk it? There could be operators just waiting there to take someone out. It's a trap. Who knows? But I heard that you can also find GPUs in loot boxes sometimes. So I am just determined to risk it all and go and check out this loot box. And of course it's not here, and it also looks like someone already looted it, so it could have been in here, but I was too late. I'm not surprised, so I head to the exfil with my head hanging low. In my next run, I have again the water pump control room key with me, and I'm heading towards that direction. But as I run up this hill, I hear shots to my right that are very, very close. Someone is clearly shooting bots, and it's not a bot, it's an operator. But then I realized that I don't hear any chat, so I assume that this guy is solo, and I think, well, you know what, let me just go for it. You know, if that guy wants to attack me, then I will shoot back, because now I have a 3-plate armor vest and my insured gun, so I should be fine. But still, I don't necessarily want to risk being shot in the back by him. So I just keep going. But I hope that I see him before he sees me. But I happen to manage to avoid this operator altogether. And as I get closer and closer to the water pump control room, I hear all of a sudden hear chatter from 2 operators. So I'm thinking, okay, this is not good because I don't know exactly where they are. They could be like behind me, in front of me, above me. They could be anywhere. It's never good when you don't know where they are. But then I turn around and I see one of the guys. He doesn't see me, which is good. But since I don't know where the second guy is, I decide to actually just move on and not take the risk. I finally make it to this water pump control room, but I open the door on this side so the operators can't really see me enter this, so I can take my time searching this room, even though there's really not that much in it, especially not a GPU. Again, very disappointing. Again. And after OCDing through this room like crazy, I decide to move on. And then I see this plea for help up on the hill and I'm thinking, I want to go and see if I can help this guy. But I'm also aware that those 2 operators I ran into earlier maybe shot that guy. So I want to be very careful because I don't want to be the next victim up there. So I'm taking some cover here to kind of check the situation out for a bit. But then I got shot by something that felt like it was an operator shot rather than a bot shot. So I'm thinking, okay, no, I'm not gonna even go there. I'm out of here. So as I get down here, I find this building here. I'm like, I've never been here. Can I go in here? Where does this actually go? Wow. This is new. How do I still find new things on such a little island? I don't know, but I did. So I get really excited. Something new to explore. Wow, cool. Oh, look at that. There's another way down to the waterways, but I don't want to go there really. So I get to this door and I realize that I actually have a stronghold key card. And I know which stronghold this is, so I'm very, very careful because I know there's a lot of bots in the stronghold, but I've never been down here below the stronghold. So I see another door. I'm like, where does this go? What is this? Wow, there's like a whole room full of loot and no bots. How come I didn't know about this room? That is super awesome. Look at all this loot. This is crazy. Am I gonna find the GPU here? Maybe? I mean, there's so much loot. It's gotta have to be here in one of those boxes, right? But after doing like a triple OCD search through this room, I had to sadly leave it knowing that there is no GPU at all. I then get to the bottom floor of the stronghold, and again I'm very surprised that there is no bots attacking me at all. I find more awesome loot a lot of boxes, at least 4 of them. But after an unsuccessful search through every possible box in this stronghold, I finally decide to make my way towards the exfil. And shortly after, I get super excited because I see a loot box and I can't run to it fast enough. And I'm so happy that nobody has looted it yet. I find a large backpack, which is cool, but not a GPU, which is not cool. And I don't usually do that, but I was surrounded by operators almost all of my run, so I'm a little bit antsy here, so I decide to use the UAV that I picked up a little bit earlier in one of those million loot boxes that I found. At least something that I found, right?
Winds are picking up. Move to an extraction point.
And it's really hard to tell if there's any operators down there. And when I check the map, I see that there's really nothing but just a million bots, which I'm not really worried about because they are not nearly as dangerous as operators. And I can successfully exfil. And then I'm back with another key, this time the City Hall hideout key. That's a really big building that I've never been inside of, but I can just imagine that there's a lot of loot in there since it's a locked space, and I'm very excited to check it out. And as I approach the door, I'm very eager to get in quickly because I don't want to be seen by any operators entering here. Because all this loot is mine. And I not only see my first orange box, but I also see already a bunch of bots waiting for me. And so this building becomes like a crazy mad fight with the bots. But I am not too concerned because I have my 2 injured weapons with me and my 3-plate armor vest. So I just take my time because as long as there's no operators coming in here, I don't really have to stress about it, right? And I do happen to find a lot of good loot in here. And fortunately also some bots that just can't shoot. After fighting my way all the way to the bottom of this building, which took some time because there's just so many bots in this building, I hear some shooting outside, so I know that there's operators nearby, but some of the footsteps sound like they're actually right above me, so I'm a little worried that they entered this same building and that they're just a few floors up from me. So I'm using my sniper as much as I can because it is a lot more silent than my hemlock. But while searching through all the cabinets and computers, I find absolutely no GPU. Well, what I do find is the governor's laptop, but that's for another mission later on, so that doesn't really help me right now. At least I know where it is. If I ever get to this mission, but right now it doesn't look like it because I just feel like I'm stuck with this GPU mission forever. I finally realized there's nothing more for me to search, so I exit the building very carefully. Because those operators that I heard the whole time, they're still there, shooting bots. And I think one of them just saw me. He's aiming at me. But of course I can't aim because I am just so nervous. So he knocks me. And fortunately he doesn't come running at me, finishing me off. I don't know why he didn't, but I take this opportunity to slowly sneak away, or better, run away in panic. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I did try to get away as fast as possible because I didn't want to take any chances and lose everything again. After fighting my way through a bunch of bots, I finally make it to the exfil location. But I don't want to just run there because of all those operators that I encountered earlier, and I'm glad I didn't because I just saw one. And I'm thinking, alright, I'll let them go. They have the weapons case. I don't want to interfere with them. I'm pretty sure that if I go any closer, they will instantly kill me, thinking that I'm going to try to take their weapons case. I almost got a heart attack there because I thought one of the operators was about to kill me. It was just a bot. And of course, there's more bots down here. I know already that This will give away my location, but I'm hoping that those operators up there just want to get out and are not hostile towards me if I do not attack them. So I just want to let them go. And while I was hoping I could just kind of sit in a corner and wait until they leave, I couldn't because the bots just kept finding me and trying to kill me. So I had to constantly change locations. And they finally actually managed to knock me down. But fortunately, I do have self-revives. And at this moment, I realized that those operators are finally taking off. So that gives me a chance to go and finally call in a chopper for myself. If that is even possible, because I'm still surrounded by bots. And I'm also worried still about those operators I ran into earlier. They may actually come here trying to exfil. I have no idea at this point if I even get out of this situation alive, because I've just been fighting bots non-stop. But once the radiation timer starts to count down, I feel the pressure to just go and finally call this chopper in, find a good spot to hide, and hopefully make it out alive. But as soon as I thought that, I hear chatter nearby, so I'm like, oh, there they are. So much for that. I try to hide a little bit better. And while I try to find out how many there are or where they are, I fall down. But in that moment, I get an invite and I am so relieved because at this point, I know I will make it out of here alive. And I can hardly believe that this happened because in the last couple of weeks, I haven't seen a single friendly operator. It was just vicious hostility in every run. And one of those guys might even be the guy that kind of knocked me out earlier, because he never hunted me down, so I kind of had a feeling that he was friendly. Weirdly enough, the chopper was way too high. I did not manage to make it up, but I really didn't want to miss the chopper. So I just made it up on this like side wing here, hoping that I don't get knocked down by the rotor blades in some way. Those guys didn't even realize I wasn't in there with them. I think they just were so ready to get out. But when they finally realized, they were sure super surprised that I was out here getting out with them. They didn't even know you can do this. Hey, I made it out. That's all that matters. But I'm really beginning to think that if I am able to ever find a GPU, because I'm a little tired now to play this map over and over and over and just have unsuccessful runs. So should I stop doing this mission or should I continue? You tell me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, take care, bye bye.